Hakuna Matata. Hold on. We them boys. Uh-huh. What I told you about them Cowboys? What I told you about my Cowboys? I told you they is dumb and they ain't nothing to play with. They are whoo-wee. What a game. They go out there and beat the Chiefs. I told y'all my Cowboys would beat the Chiefs. This is what I told y'all. Y'all ain't want to believe me. Y'all thought I was trolling. I wasn't serious. I keep trying to tell you. The Cowboys is making the playoffs, whether y'all like it or not. It is what it is. They just went out there. Dak Prescott outperformed Mahomes. Yeah, I said it. He outperformed him. Dak was the better quarterback. CeeDee Lamb, he went back to his number one wide receiver status. George Pickens had a solid game, but CeeDee was unguardable. It was him and not, boy, I tell you, like a top 5 wide receiver out there, boy. Cowboys, the Chiefs thought this was going to be sweet, easy win, but nah, that's not what happened with my Cowboys. My Cowboys, you know what they did? Shout out to Quinn Williams, man, because he's making a huge difference. We lose Micah Parsons. Basically flip Micah Parsons to get Quinn Williams, to get Logan Wilson, to get a first rounder. We flipped them. We're getting pieces, man. The other D tackle from the Packers, name I can't think of right now, but we out here. One player has been fruitful for us. We get into these playoffs. Awesome. The Eagles are fraud. Mucho caliente basura. Because that this football game I just watched tonight on Black Friday, fraudulent. That team got a lot of problems, issues. That needs to be fixed. That needs to be addressed. Another team that's fraudulent. The Ravens are fraudulent. They frauds. They're pretenders and not contenders. I know it's a division game, but there's no way you're supposed to lose to Joe Burrow and the Bengals. There's just no way. With him, his number 2 not playing, Jamar Chase basically cooked your whole secondary, third dairy, your fourth dairy, cooked your whole team by himself. Yeah. We have a lot to talk about football. We had 4 games. We had 3 for Thanksgiving. We had the Packers and the Lions. And what a game that boy Jordan Love put on full display, boy, I tell you. We had the Chiefs and the Cowboys. And then we had the Bengals and the Ravens. That was a Sunday night football game. And today we had the Bears and Eagles. But let's get down to it. Let's get to it. The first game we're going to talk about today is this Packers and Lions game. The game was very winnable for the Detroit Lions, but they ultimately got outplayed. Jordan Love, 18-30, 234 yards, 60 completion with 4 touchdowns. Yeah, 124. 124 passer rating. He just carved up the defense, man. Wicks looked like he was the number 1. Christian Watson, big body, his big play receiver. He targeted him 10 times. He got 4 receptions, 80 yards and a touchdown. Wicks had 2 touchdowns. Romeo Doubs had 4 for 20 and a touchdown. Jordan Love, one thing I'm going to say about that boy Jordan Love, he doesn't have there isn't a true dominant wide receiver 1 on this Packers team, as y'all can see. Your big play is Christian Watson. Romeo Doubs is your, I don't even know what to call him. He's like basically number 2. And Wicks is your, when this game, he was the playmaker, the go-to guy. They did draft the first rounder, but he's barely seen the field. The Matthew Golden, vertical threat, can stretch out the field. Christian Watson is, I would say, the number 1 in this offense. Jordan Love likes to throw it to him. He's a big body receiver. When you need a big play, he's looking Christian Watson's way 9 times out of 10. I think that's his favorite receiver. The Lions, Jared Goff, 256 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 132. Jamar Gibbs, 20 attempts with 68 yards. Dave Montgomery, 8 for 32, and a touchdown. Amon St. Brown went out in the second quarter. That was it for him. He didn't play for the rest of the game. He was out on injury. Williams is one of the most agitating players I have ever seen in my life. He's very annoying. And let me tell you why he's annoying ultimately. When you watch the Lions play, you have no Sam Laporta. Amon St. Brown goes out. Jameson Williams. If you have in fantasy, he's the most frustrating player you ever see. Last week he had a 0-0-0 game. Then this game he has 144, and a touchdown for 10 targets. So basically, he's your number one. While Amon St. Brown is out, he becomes your number one. Now, with him being your number one, Dan Campbell does not. He should be used more in this offense as a number two. I think he's very misused in this offense. I think Dan Campbell doesn't know what to do with J-Mo. He's one of the fastest receivers. He's a deep threat. He can stretch out a defense. He's fast, north to south, east to west. He's a speedster. And Dan Campbell doesn't use him right in this offense. I think more plays should be run for him. He should be doing way more than what he's doing in this offense. Then week to week, you don't know which version you're going to get a J-Mo, Jameson Williams. You don't know week to week. One week he looks like a competent receiver. Next week he doesn't. Next week he's getting 8 targets. One week he's getting 8 targets. The following week he's getting 3. And then the next game he gets 0. So there is no consistency with his targets at all. And this Dan Campbell run-heavy offense. Can somebody tell Dan Campbell it's okay to not go for it on fourth down? It's literally okay. Dan Campbell just wants to go for it on fourth down every single time. All right, Dan, we get it. You like going for fourth down. You're gutsy. You're going to do what needs to be done. Sometimes you just take the points. Just take the little field goal and call it a day. But this game was very back and forth. Ultimately, Green Bay got the job done. They look like the better team. As far as this division goes, the NFC North, between them and the Packers, it's hard to say who's going to win this division. I think it's ultimately going to come down to a game between the Bears and the Packers. Whoever wins that division game, I think that's who wins this division. Because they're both, you got the Bears who are 9-3, and they just won. And then you got Green Bay who's 8-3-1. That tie with the Cowboys week 1 is so utterly disgusting. But yeah. Hold on. We them boys. Let me just go to scores. Then we had the Chiefs and the Cowboys, and this was a game of domination. My Cowboys, man. Patrick Mahomes had 23 completions, 34 attempts, 261 yards, a 67 completion with 4 tutties, 3 sacks, and 129. Kareem Hunt didn't get nothing much going on the ground, 14 for 58 yards. Patrick Mahomes rushed 3 times for 30. Rashid Rice was cooking Diggs or whoever was the number one corner. I'm pretty sure it was Diggs. He's getting cooked all night long. Rashid Rice had 8 receptions, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. Xavier Worthy, another guy who's not used in the offense correctly. You got this speedster. You barely use him. 4 for 61. Travis Kelce, 5 for 45 with 1 for a touchdown. The problem with Patrick Mahomes this season and why he's a fraud, and I'm never forgiving y'all for putting him in conversations with Tom Brady, which he should never been in to begin with. The Chiefs are in trouble of missing the playoffs. They are in real trouble. It's looking real bleak for them. They're 6-6, so they're at 500. Denver's in front of them. The Chargers are in front of them. They're a team that is very capable of missing the playoffs. So you're going to tell me Patrick Mahomes in his prime is about to miss the playoffs? What is the biggest problem with the Chiefs? One of the biggest problems. Penalties this year has been a big problem. They haven't been able to finish games that they should be finishing. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce connection doesn't look like how it once was. They don't have a true dominant number one wide receiver. Rashid Rice is cool and all, but I don't think he's a true number one dominant wide receiver. He's not a Amon St. Brown. He's not a A.J. Brown. He's not a Lad McConkey, even though the Chargers got things going on. He's not a DJ Moore. He's not a George Pickens or a CeeDee Lamb. He's not a dominant wide receiver. And when y'all would compare him to Tom Brady, the only dominant wide receiver he had for a short time was Randy Moss. That's the only dominant wide receiver he had. You could throw in Gronk too, but that's a tight end. I'm talking about straight receiver. That's the only one he had. That's literally the only dominant wide receiver he had was Randy Moss. We talking about the Wes Walkers, the Deion Branches, the Chris Hogans. These are no-name guys. And Tom Brady was able to elevate them and take them to Super Bowls, multiple Super Bowls, multiple AFC championships. And Patrick Mahomes with a roster with Rashid Rice, Xavier Worthy, Kelce, Kareem Hunt, Marquise Brown, Pacheco, he's in danger of missing the playoffs. And I told y'all they were in danger that first game of the season when they played the Chargers in Brazil and the Chargers beat them. I told y'all the Chiefs don't look the same. Defensively, they're okay. I wouldn't say they're elite. They're not the creme de la creme, the best. They're not good. They're good. They're okay, decent, whatever you want to call it. Teams have figured out how to scheme against Patrick Mahomes this season. Offensively, if you take away Rashid Rice, you let Rashid Rice be Rashid Rice. If you're able to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, yes, he's going to have some out-of-the-world throws. As we all know, Patrick Mahomes is a gunslinger, just like Brett Favre was. They're going to throw deep. They're going to take calculated risks. Sometimes these risks are 50-50. Patrick Mahomes could beat you with his legs. But when you look at their offense and you're looking at who you have to worry about, who are you worried about? If I'm a defensive coordinator, am I really worried about Rashid Rice that much? Am I really worried about Xavier Worthy that much? Now, Steve Spagnuolo, a hell of a DC. One of the best DCs of all time. But this Chiefs team is not the same dominant Chiefs team we have seen. This team is flawed. You can see the chinks in the armor. And teams are capitalizing this season. And with that being said, this season, the AFC is up for grabs. Because with the Chiefs not making it, guess what? Josh Allen, you don't have an excuse no more if you don't make it to the Super Bowl. Lamar, if you don't make it to the Super Bowl, you don't have an excuse no more either. Because Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to say it now, they ain't making the playoffs. That's cooked. They're not making the playoffs with a couple games left in the season. I think it's statistically impossible for them to make the playoffs. They will hope for a meltdown from a whole bunch of teams. They don't make the playoffs. They're not making the wild card. So with that being said, the AFC is up for grabs this year. So actually, in the whole NFL as a whole, in totality, it's up for grabs. I don't see a dominant team that's going to win the Super Bowl. The Eagles look flawed, as we saw today versus the Bears. As we've seen this whole season, offensively, they look flawed. You don't know what version of the Eagles. Their OC is terrible, can't call no plays. They just abandon the run. Jalen Hurts is a horrible under pressure. He's overthrowing receivers. He's underthrowing receivers. Receivers are open. He's getting too stuck having tunnel vision on one man. Not going through his progressions or read. He's not having good ball placement. The defense couldn't stop the run. As we've seen today, you had both of the Bears rushers ran for over 100 yards. I believe the Bears ran for a grand total of 300 yards on the ground. They couldn't stop the run, save their lives today. This is the first time since 1985 Walter Payton was on the Bears that there was 2 running backs in their history, their franchise history, to have 2 backs go over 100 yards. DeAndre Swift ran all of them, and Kyle Mongolia, I'm butchering his name, I don't know how to pronounce it, ran all over them. They had no answer for neither one of them. D-line was lost. There is no dominant team. You look at the Rams look like, yeah, they're Super Bowl contenders. But then it all resides on the health of Matthew Stafford and Puka. Are they going to be able to stay healthy for the season? Because we know that they're nicked up with injuries. The coach, how much do y'all believe in Daniel Jones? Do we think Daniel Jones is going to be able to perform in the playoffs under pressure in the AFC? We don't know. We don't know what that looks like. We never seen Daniel Jones in a playoff setting. He might crap the bed. He might look good. We don't know. The Patriots, that team as flawed as it looks. You got a top 5 quarterback this season. You got a lack of offensive weapons, but Drake May's making it work, looking very Tom Brady-ish. You do have Stephon Diggs, who has been an elite wide receiver 1 for this team, has helped this team out a lot. You got Keyshawn Butte out of Mbute. I'm butchering his name, don't know how to say his name. You got him as your number 2. You got the DeMario Douglases, the small slot guy. You got Hunter Henry, your big tight end. You got a top 10 defense, even though Carlos Davis has been getting cooked from week to week. There is no Super Bowl favorite. Right now, the Super Bowl, the parity in the NFL right now is up for grabs. I can't even give you a Super Bowl favorite. There's no team I like. Every team I see is flawed. I see flaws in every single team. And I feel like every single one team that's going to go in the playoffs, there's a flaw, and you can somehow expose them. Green Bay Packers. Look at them. I think one of their flaws is offense. Not having a true number 1 wide receiver. I think Jordan Love is, when you're in a playoff setting on the road and defenses are collapsing on you, you're seeing packages you've never seen before. Your guys can't catch the ball or whatever. How are you going to be resilient in a situation like that? There's no team I trust. I don't know. Nobody knows. Whoever wins the Super Bowl this year, shout out to them. I don't know if it's going to be the AFC, NFC. All these teams are flawed right now. But I guess when the playoffs do start, we're going to see what team is for real and what team isn't. Let's get back to these little, who else we want to talk about? The Cowboys. I got on a tangent. Forgot to talk about my Cowboys, man. Dak, 320, 2 touchdowns and a pick. 6.9 completion percentage. Now, even though Patrick Mahomes threw for 4 touchdowns, had a 129.7 rating, that's cool. But when you sat down and watched this game live, when you actually watched the game, Dak outplayed Patrick Mahomes, and it's okay. I mean, it happens. Even to the best of us, if they get outplayed. Javonte Williams, 17 attempts, 59 yards, no touchdowns. Malik Davis, shout out to him. 3 attempts, 47 yards, and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, over 100 yards. For 9 targets. Trent McDuffie was getting burnt all game long. He was confused, perplexed, and lost. George Pickens, 6 receptions, 88. George Ferguson, 5 receptions, 36 yards. This Cowboys offense, I can't believe I'm about to say what I'm about to say about the Cowboys. The Cowboys, this might be the best offensive Cowboys team we've seen in a while. This might be their best offensive team of all time. We've seen them have the great Michael Irvin, their great running backs when they were winning Super Bowls. But when you have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens as your 1 and 2, 1A, 1B, that opens up the field so much for you, it's ridiculous. because now defenses have to scheme for one of these guys. Who are you double teaming? You can't double team both of them. And whatever guy you choose to double team, that's the guy that's going to go off. The other guy is the one that's going on. See, the Chiefs were more worried about George Pickens after seeing what he did, which allowed CeeDee Lamb to go off. But last week, they were game planning for CeeDee Lamb, which allowed George Pickens to go off. Dak is playing out of his mind. The Cowboys are one of the best offenses in the league, if not the best offense in the league. This playbook is with Shoddy calling the plays is wide open. You have to pick your poison. This team, you're going to have to pick your poison. Javonte Williams has been solid running the football. So now you got the run game going. You got two number one wide receivers. Yeah. Any given Sunday, depending on what defense gives you, depends on who's going to eat. You got a tight end, Jake Ferguson, a very good tight end, a top 10 tight end in this league. So Dak has weapons. This is the most talented offensive team he has ever had. You got a good O-line. One of the best O-lines in football. And all you had to fix was a defense to be middle of the pack. And so far, your defense is looking great. Yeah, they have a great defense right now. When you're getting pressure with Quinn Williams, you got Quinn Williams up the middle, being a great run stopper, disrupting the quarterback. And you got Diggy Zua, another good D lineman. You got him coming in. And then, yeah, like the Cowboys defense is decent now. You got finally some linebackers who cover. You got Overshown and Logan Wilson. They've been very good this season since they've been getting acquired. I think you finally fix your number 2 wide receiver problem, because that was one of the biggest problems for the Cowboys. They didn't have a reliable number 2. Now instead of having a reliable number 2, now you got a debatable 1A, 1B, which is a great problem to have. A great problem. When you have Kenny Clark, when you have Quinn Williams, Osia Adigola. Excuse me, I'm butchering his name because y'all know I ain't good with these names. When you got these guys, when you got Dante Fowler, Kenneth Murray Jr., Logan Wilson, Overshown, Deron Bland, even though you got Sean Rowe Jr., which I believe is a rookie. No, he's not. Is he a rookie? Yes, you got the rookie who has something to prove. This team could do something. Then you got Ezra Rocky coming off the edges, creating havoc. You have Javon Clowney, who's been looking solid. This team is looking very, very scary. They fix up this defense. I think having Kenny Clark fix the run stopper, he helped fix the problem. Quinn Williams has helped a lot. He's one of the best D tackles in the game. He stops the run. It's hard to run the ball on the Cowboys right now. And with it being hard to run, now they can actually cover. You can see Matt Eberflus can actually call defensive schemes. They actually can play zone defense. Because this defense was so bad they had to play man. Now they can finally play zone defense. Matt Eberflus can finally call the game the way he wants to call it. Now it's not about before they made these trades, it came down to, was it the scheme or the DC? Now we've seen it was clearly the players. Eberflus didn't have the talent to run what he run it. When they were only successful when they ran man coverages. Zone coverage, they were getting exposed left and right. The linebackers couldn't cover. The secondary was non-existent. You couldn't stop the run, so teams were doing whatever to this Cowboys defense, just ragdolling them. But now you trade for Kenny Clark in a first round pick. You trade for a Quinn Williams. So you get two good, sturdy D tackles who can stop the run, great run stoppers. Quinn Williams can also put pressure on the quarterback, just move linemen out of his way. Say, excuse me, pardon me, good sir. It's time. You upgrade your linebacker room a little bit by you get DeMario Overshown back. Logan Wilson, you trade for Logan Wilson. So now you got linebackers who can actually cover, run north to south, who can east to west, high IQ. So now you have Eberflus can run the scheme he wants to run because now he has high talented level players. Before this, you were playing with practice players that didn't know what the heck they were doing on that field at all. But shout out to the Cowboys. I told y'all my Cowboys is gonna beat them Chiefs. I told y'all, but y'all thought I was probably crazy. I was trolling. Yeah. Shout out for them for having the upset, man. Let's see. This game was pitiful to watch. Lamar. First, this AFC North division is just ugly to look at. It's very ugly. Because if you look at it from a talent standpoint, the Baltimore Ravens is the best and most talented team in this division. If we're talking about all around teams, the Ravens are the best. But with that being said, you can't count out Pittsburgh, even with Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlinson, because they find ways to win division games. That's how they do what they do. Mike Tomlin just finds ways to win games. On top of him finding ways to win games, excuse me, he just finds ways to win games. One of the biggest problems with the Steelers is they don't got a number 2 wide receiver. I don't know why you traded George Pickens away, but yeah, that was a stupid move. That's gonna hurt you a lot. And then the even bigger problem with the Steelers that people don't talk about, the Steelers are never gonna be bad enough. This is the worst part in sports, meaning a mediocre team. This is the worst thing you could ever do in sports. Because the Steelers are never gonna be bad enough to where they can draft a high lottery quarterback or receiver for their team. They're never going to be that high. They always going to be that middle of the pack team, middle of the draft, where it starts getting tricky, where the talent pool starts thinning out. This team desperately needs I don't know what's your plan after Aaron Rodgers. You got to think about that future. On top of that, you got to think about you need a wide receiver too desperately. The problem with DK Metcalf, he's not a good route runner. He's just basically a big physical target, an athlete that can just go get goal balls. So you just tell him on streaks and slants all day, and you throw it up and go get it. So teams are scheming against taking that away. So I don't know what the Steelers are going to do from here on out. They got a lot of things that they need to think about. The Bengals. We already know what's wrong with the Bengals. They don't believe in the defense and the O-line. I don't know who told them the 2 most important positions in football, defense and O-line. They just ignore those. They said we just gonna go skill position. And then when we do draft high quality defensive players, we're just gonna let them walk. We're not gonna pay them. I like the Bengals franchise is a joke. You have Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow took y'all to Super Bowl and you haven't been back. But this is how bad this team is. Do y'all see this number? The man threw the ball 46 times. 46. You know, that's a lot of passes. That's almost 50 passes you didn't throw in the game. 50 passes is insane work. Oh, 46 passes? Then out of them 46 passes, 7 of them went to Jamar Chase for 110 yards. He had 14 targets. Chase Brown became your number 2 wide receiver because you targeted him 7 times, 7 receptions for 35 yards. Chase Brown getting all these all-purpose yards. I'm shocked he's able to get these all-purpose yards. I really am. The Bengals O-line is mucho caliente basura. And the fact that the Ravens couldn't capitalize on that bad O-line tells me a lot about this team. This team is fraudulent. Lamar Jackson just looked terrible in this game. I don't know what he was doing. I think he don't even know what he was doing. He didn't throw no touchdowns, a pick. He just played abysmal. 246 yards with 53 completion, 65 passer rating. 10 carries for Derrick Henry is insane. But like the game was close until the second half. About the end of the third, going into the fourth, it just got ugly. It just got abysmal. John Harbaugh might be another overrated coach we need to have a conversation about. But yeah, 10 attempts for 60 yards. Come on, y'all gotta do better than that. Isaiah Likely was the best wide receiver, 5 for 95. Mark Andrews, 4 for 47. D-Hop had 2 for 25. Zay Flowers, 2 for 6. He targeted him 7 times. Sharp Bateman. Again, the Ravens got another problem. They don't draft wide receivers well. Go get wide receivers. They need an elite wide receiver 1. I get it. You run a run-heavy scheme, but you still need a dominant wide receiver 1. You need to go get a player similar to A.J. Brown. But, of course, you're one of them teams. You're always going to be competing for the Super Bowl, always in the playoffs. You might miss the playoffs this year. So you tell me Chiefs, and Ravens, and Bengals, 3 teams who are going to miss the playoffs this year. If you would told me that at the beginning of the year, I thought you were trolling me. You weren't serious. I would probably called you a casual. So 3 teams who easily made the playoffs. Well, no, the Bengals missed the playoffs last season too. So 2 teams that easily made the playoffs, the Chiefs and the Ravens, about to miss the playoffs this year. That's hysterically funny. The irony in that is crazy. Shout out to the 10 people who's in the live right now. Shout out to y'all, man. They don't. Your number 1 wide receiver is Mr. Zay Flowers. And 2 for 6 yards. That's crazy. That Bengals defense ain't that good. Shout out to the 10 people alive. Shout out to the 9 people. The 1 person on YouTube, shout out to you. And the 8 people on X, aka Twitter. They need a wide receiver 1. Zay Flowers being your wide receiver number 1 is hilarious. That guy's really a number 2 or number 3 on the other team. He's not a wide receiver 1. But again, you're never going to be bad enough when you're able to drive a high quality wide receiver. It just is what it is, man. It is what it is. A lot of teams are going to have to make some, after this season, a lot of teams are going to have to start making decisions. Everybody can't be the Patriots and did what Tom Brady did. Tom Brady took a team full of nobodies. Now, I won't call them nobodies, but these are not. How many wide receivers do y'all honestly remember? Like Chris Hogan. This was a lacrosse player that happened to play football. After Brady, disappeared off the face of the earth. Wells Walker. After Brady, he had a decent career. He was okay, but he was never the same player. Julian Elderman. I'll probably pronounce his name wrong. Small white slot guy who played quarterback that was converted to a wide receiver. I don't think if you put him on any other team, I don't think he does and has a career he has with Tom Brady. Deion Branch. Who? Yeah, I know. Deion Branch. These are the wide receivers that. These were some of the receivers that Tom Brady had to play with. Uh, my personal favorite, Joshua Dobson. They didn't even last in the league long enough. I think he stayed in the league for like 3 years. The best wide receiver he ever had, and he broke records with him, is Randy Moss. Went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Giants. I think Randy stayed for one more year, and then ultimately he left or got traded. I don't remember. That's the best wide receiver he ever played with. You did have Gronk. Um, the Patriots were famous for running two tight end set. Y'all remember that with Aaron Hernandez and Gronk was just basically unstoppable. But everybody can't be the Patriots and do it the Patriots way. Patrick Mahomes could never. Um, the Eagles' run defense in this game, pathetic. Shout out to the Bears, OC and head coach. Can't think of the head coach name right now. Ain't gonna lie to y'all. Shout out to 12 people alive. Kyle Mongolia, I'm butchering his name. Out of 22 attempts, had 130 yards and a touchdown. He was averaging almost 6 yards a carry, which is insane. DeAndre Swift had 18 attempts for 125 and a touchdown. He was averaging 6.9, almost 7 yards a carry. So between these two guys, you were averaging 13 yards per carry. 6 plus 7, 13 per carry. Caleb Williams didn't have to do much. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. When your run game and these elite running schemes, elite running packages, Caleb Williams didn't have to do nothing. He ain't threw the ball 36 times. He probably could threw it less than that. He didn't have to do much. Because the way this O-line was open up rushing lanes and just finding ways for their running backs to get open, yeah, crazy. Cole Kmet, 336 and a touchdown. Like I said, he didn't have to throw the ball much at all. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is very hard to defend as a quarterback because I thought he was top 10, but the more and more I watch him, I don't know if it's the OC or him at this point. Offensively, this bad play calling. I don't know what that OC is calling over there, but he's mucho galante basura. And then Jalen Hurts ain't no better because he has horrible ball placement. He's overthrowing receivers, underthrowing receivers. He's getting so stuck on one receiver having tunnel vision, he's forgot another guy's wide open. He's a very frustrating quarterback to play with. And then Saquon, they're not running the ball like they was last season. 4.3 yards a carry, 13 for 56 yards. A.J. Brown did his thing. Devontae Smith sold the parlay. I needed 52 yards from you. What do? You go get 48. But it was a good read because you had 8 targets, but that's on me. Trusting Jalen Hurts. He just basically he spoon feeds and forces his ball to A.J. Brown. You have a Devontae Smith and a Dallas Cowboys on your team. Why don't you throw them the ball from time to time? Like 12 targets, 8, 4. Like spread the ball around Jalen Hurts. You got other guys on your team that you can throw the ball to. It's okay. Nobody's going to get mad at you for doing it. Who cares what A.J. Brown's saying? But the Eagles need to be better. They need to do better because this team is fraudulent right now. And the Bears saying number 1 at their division is utterly nasty and disgusting. And then Minnesota at the bottom is this division just looks weird. I do not like the way this division looks. Let's look at the playoff pictures. The playoffs were to start today. Patriots basically locked up a playoff spot. Then they got the Giants. The Broncos at Washington. So let's look at the AFC. You got the Patriots, AFC East, leading the division. They probably gonna win out that division. You got the Broncos probably winning out the division. Colts winning out the division. That AFC North, it gets tricky in the AFC North. I don't know. If the Patriots lose or win, they're making the playoffs. Same thing with the Broncos, the Colts. Now the Steelers playoff chances are interesting right now. They have a 43% chance. If they lose to Buffalo, who they have week 13 by the way, and I'm picking them to beat Buffalo too because I need Buffalo to keep losing. So I'm a Steelers fan for this week. If they lose, they have a 32% chance of winning the playoffs. If they win, they get a 56. So they need to beat Buffalo. Now the Chargers, interesting because they got a division game with the Mucho Caliente Basura Raiders. I just read a report on Marion Hampton will not be playing. If they lose this game, their chance go to 44. If they win, 71%. Currently, they're sitting at 65. So from 4 down, these teams need to win. They don't have no room to lose. Jaguars, they're at 74. If they lose to Tennessee, a division game, AFC South. If they lose, 56%. If they win, 82. Now the Bills will be on the 7th seed. If they currently have an 83% chance to make the playoffs. If they lose, goes down 72. If they win, goes down 92. I'm picking them to beat the Steelers. Now, oh wait, this is not next week. Wait, is this? Yeah, this is next week because the Patriots had the Steelers. Yeah. Anyways, the Texans have a division game, and the Colts, the Chiefs. Okay, this is old. But yeah, but most of these teams. Yeah, I gotta look at the schedule. But yeah, these teams, the Texans, the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Dolphins, Bengals. The Titans are eliminated. The Titans are about to be eliminated. Jets about to be eliminated. Raiders about to be eliminated. The Browns about to be eliminated. The Bengals, the Dolphins. The Ravens have a 61% chance. The Chiefs have a 38% chance of making the playoffs. And the Texans have 65. So basically, top three is basically locked up. And after that, it starts getting real shaky in the AFC. NFC, the Rams basically got that locked up. The Bears got it locked up. They're making the playoffs. The Eagles that got it locked up. The Bucks got it locked up. Win or lose, the Buccaneers are making the playoffs. Seattle Seahawks win or lose, they're making the playoffs. The Packers got it locked up, and the Niners has it locked up for right now. The Lions have a 42% chance of winning. The Cowboys have an 18% chance. So the Lions and the Cowboys, they have very interesting. I believe the Cowboys play the Lions next week. I gotta look at the schedule. But these are important wins. The Cowboys have to basically win out their schedule, and I think the Lions gonna have to win out their schedule too. Panthers eliminated, Falcons eliminated, Vikings, Cardinals, Commanders, Saints, all mucho caliente basura. They should be eliminated. Let me see. Let's look at the schedule. We're at week 14. No, we're still at week 13. I'm sorry. Rams and Panthers. I'm picking the Rams to win. Browns and Niners. This is an interesting game. I'm picking the Browns in this game. The Niners are really banged up. I think they're going to struggle against that defense. I think Shador is capable enough of a quarterback to beat that banged up Niners defense. So I'm picking the Browns in that game. And that's what things are going to get interesting if the 49ers lose to the Browns. That's very interesting. We got a division game between the Texans and the Colts, November 30th. I'm picking the Texans in that game. The Texans are on fire. They need a playoff spot bad. And if they come out there and beat the Colts, things are going to get interesting in that division too. The Saints and the Dolphins, nobody cares about that game. I care less. Falcons and Jets, nobody cares about that game for real, for real. Cardinals and Buccaneers, nobody cares about that game for real. But I'm taking the Bucks. Jets Falcons, give me the Falcons. Saints Dolphins, give me the Dolphins. But I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow lose to the Saints. Jaguars Titans, that's another division game. If the Jaguars lose that game, that's gonna be interesting. But I'm obviously taking the Jags. The Vikings and Seahawks, taking the Seahawks. The Vikings. JJ McCarthy, he's a weird quarterback. That's all I got. It's hard to watch him. Raiders Chargers division game. Raiders. I'm taking the Chargers, but I think the Raiders can't upset them. Y'all know how division games go. Bills Steelers, we're going with the Steelers because we need them to win. Sunday Night Football, we got the Broncos and the Commanders. Obviously, we're taking the Broncos. And then we got the Giants and the Patriots. Obviously, we're taking the Pats. And that Monday night ends week 13. Shout out to the 12 people that's in the live right now. But yeah. We got NBA games on today. I've been tuning in with me lately. It's football season. I've been tuning in watching football. Football takes priority over basketball. And we all know the season don't start until when? The season don't start until after All-Star break. But shout out to the Thunder. They're the best team. They're going back-to-back. Shai is winning MVP. Shai is the best player in the world. Nobody's beating the Thunder barring injury. I don't think there's a team good enough. But y'all know the vibes. Y'all know where to find me. Crazy Shot Josh Universe on YouTube. Make sure you hit that sub button, man. Take 30 seconds out your day. All you got to do is hit the sub button. Doink. That's it. Come on. Take some time out your day. Help a small black content creator that's trying to do something with his life. You understand what I'm saying? You can find me on Instagram at crazyshot_talk sports. You can find me at TikTok at crazyshotjosh. I go live daily. If you don't like my take, disagree with a take, if you want to come on the show and debate me 1v1, I don't run from nobody. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't running. You line them up one by one. We doing them baby boy style. You know what I'm saying? One by one. If you want to come on the show, feel free to DM me on any of my socials. X, Crazy Shot Josh. Make sure you follow me on X. I do interact back. I talk sports, everything sports. Sometimes on X, I'll randomly go on tangent, talk about other things. But yeah, but it's mainly sports. Y'all know where to find me. Y'all know the vibes. Hopefully, y'all had a great holiday, a safe holiday. And, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week. I'm out of here. Y'all will see me next week. Same time, same place on... I don't know if I'm live. Wednesday, Thursday is gonna be one of them days. I don't know yet. But make sure you have the notifications on, man. I hope you guys had a great holiday, a safe holiday. I hope you ate real good, slept real good. Got a little something on the side, you know what I'm saying? I'm out of here. Y'all stay safe, man. Make sure to tune in. Shout out to the 10 people that are in the live that watch. Shout out to the people who came in and supported. Shout out to everybody who supports the kid. I love y'all. I'm out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, rest of the week. I'm gone.